You are an organism composed of over 1 trillion cells, and in the majority of those cells within the nucleus, you can find your genome, the entire instruction manual to make and maintain you. Because almost every one of your cells contains that entire human genome, when your cells replicate, they have to replicate the entirety of the genome within their nucleus in a process called DNA replication. DNA replication occurs in both mitosis, the replication of somatic cells, and meiosis, the replication of sex cells. The key difference is that at the end of mitosis, you have 2 diploid cells, and at the end of meiosis, you have 4 haploid cells. All of this sounds wonderful and intricate and complicated, and it is, but it's also the product of billions of years of evolution, which means it is painfully imperfect. When there is an error in DNA replication or in protein synthesis, we call that a mutation. And if that mutation happens in the sex cells during meiosis, it is passed on to the offspring. These mutations will contribute to the differences when you compare the full genome of a kid to the full genome of either of their parents. So you are a combination of a haploid sex cell which has undergone recombination from your mom and a haploid sex cell which has undergone recombination from your dad, both of which have potentially undergone mutations and then been combined to create you. This is why you are overwhelmingly the most similar to your parents, genetically speaking, but you're not identical to them. And this is what makes sexual reproduction so wonderful. It adds new variation through these processes to a population and makes them more robust in the face of change. And it also means that genomes can tell us how closely related 2 organisms are to one another, because similarities in genomes and changes in genomes are related directly to reproduction. It's sort of like the track changes function in Microsoft Word. If I sequence my genome, my sister's genome, my cousin's genome, and a stranger's genome, we'll see our known family tree recapitulated by our genomic similarity. Me and my sister will have the most similar genomes, and this is because we share a recent common ancestor in the form of our parents. Then the 2 of us will form a triad with our cousin. The 3 of us will have genomes that are more similar to each other than any of the 3 of us has, similarity-wise, with the stranger, because the 3 of us share a common ancestor in the form of our grandma. That stranger forms the outgroup. We know this for a fact because we have family trees that exist today made up of still living people whose genomes we can then sequence and compare to outgroups like strangers, and their genomic similarity will reflect their known family tree.